If my man has his own apartment and he's paying up $2,000, I do expect him to pay my rent too. Then why are you here? Like, you get to fuck.
Welcome back to the channel. If you're not here, welcome to the channel, and don't forget to show some love to the channel. So in this video, what you're going to see, this woman going to tell you the requirement for men, and one of those requirements is for the man to pay 90% of her bills, and she's going to tell you the reasons you have to pay 90% of her bills. Let's get into it.
So in my personal experience, like, I would want a man to provide for 90% of the things that I need.
So you want 90% of the things you need, you want a man to pay?
Yes. At 90, yeah, I'll pay groceries.
That's almost everything.
It's 90%. It is almost everything.
So you want a man to do what? Pay your rent?
Yeah, and I'll pay utilities and groceries.
That's not 90% though, that's less.
Oh, how's that less? Rent could be $2,000. Groceries and a light bill, that's like $300.
See, we had this conversation.
Literally before. 90%.
Yeah, we had this conversation before on this show, and I said I'm never paying a woman's rent.
Okay, that's you. I personally wouldn't be with you, but you'll find a woman that will be with you.
Here I come.
I wouldn't be with you.
I'm just never doing that. Like,
that's fine.
Because
you don't have to.
No, and because I live good too.
No, I feel you. You don't have to.
Imagine me paying $3,000 rent, and then I'm paying $3,000 rent for
I feel you. I understand where you're coming from, but I require something different. If my man has his own apartment and he's paying up $2,000, I do expect him to pay my rent too.
Oh, really?
What I require.
So, and what happens when that transaction happens? Does it mean that he can dictate to you who comes over? And
why would he do that? He has his own place.
This doesn't make sense. So we dating. I gotta pay 90% of your bill, and I gotta pay all my bills. Why would a man put themselves in this situation? So we living in two different places, and I gotta cover your bills. Just why? Or maybe she might tell us why a man has to do all this stuff. But let's get back into it.
Because
he's paying my rent because he wants to, not because I'm holding a gun against his head.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Who would want to pay 90% of somebody else's bill when you have your own bills to worry about? Even if you have a lot of money, you're not going to do it. Because if you're spending everything that you make, next thing you know, you're going to be broke. And again, why would a man do this? Why would I pay all your bills? We just dating.
I think a gun is heavy.
And if you don't want to keep me around, you don't got to pay my rent. Bye.
So if you don't pay your rent, that's it. You're not together.
If you're not helping me with 90% of the things I need help with, why? Because I'm like, I can do it for myself. So then why are you here? Like, you get to fuck.
Here I come.
And not do shit? No.
Okay. So because of the backs, a man gotta pay all your bills. So basically you're selling. So we're in a relationship. If I don't pay your bills, I don't get nothing. So this doesn't make it. This is just crazy. So if she keep talking like this, if she doesn't change this mindset, this young lady probably gonna be by herself for the rest of her life, because there's no man going to pay all your bills when we're living in two different houses or apartments. Let's get back into it.
That's weird. I don't want that. Like, I need a guy I am the benefit.
What do you mean by that?
I am a great woman. I know how to clean. I know how to cook. I can provide everything a man needs.
What if he don't need that?
Then he could be with a guy.
No. Why would you?
What do you mean he doesn't need a woman to be there?
No, what I'm saying is, the cook and the clean.
So you're gonna eat out every day?
Well, no, I cook for myself at times, and I eat out. I have maids that come clean, and
that's perfect.
I have a laundromat that I take my clothes to, and I have a cleaner where I take my. At this point,
I personally wouldn't want you to get like nobody to cook for my man. Like, I don't want nobody. Like, that's personal to me. I love to cook. Like, I don't want nobody to. I don't want you feeding my man. Okay, I don't want.
Well, I'm not talking about anybody else feeding me. I'm feeding myself.
I mean, if you want to cook for, I'm not gonna stop you.
I'm fine.
Cook, man.
Listen, if you love to cook, then cook.
Yeah, I love
It's never going to be a requirement.
I love to cook.
If you come over and you see some sort of a mess, and you're a clean woman, you're clean because you're clean, not because it's a duty, it's a job. It's what gets me to pay your rent because you're doing this this work. You know, if I want to pay your rent, I'm going to pay your rent, and you never have to do none of these things, and I will still pay your rent if I chose to pay the rent.
Yeah, but because you choose to pay my rent, this is what I choose to do for you. This is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not just expecting somebody to do something for me. That's just selfish in my perspective. Like, I want to do something. I want to do something for you because you're helping me.
A lot of men can agree with me on this. If I have to pay all your bills or most of your bills, so you can cook and clean for me, or maybe watch my clothes, I would rather just pay somebody else to do it for me. I think this going to cost you less than paying 90% of her bills. You might as well just hire somebody. It's going to cost you way less than what she's expecting from you.
Let me ask you a question now. So you're in your relationship. He's paying 90% of your stuff that you like. And then there's this other guy that comes along. You know he always liked you, and he tells you that he'll pay 100% of everything, and he knows and he tells himself that he's a better man, and you know he always liked you. Will you think about it, or will you hold on to what you have and say, listen, what I have, you know, my man loves me, and he pays 90%, or will you take the chance of someone that you know always liked you, and he's got it even better, and he will pay 100% of everything? What do you do at this point?
I didn't need better. I was happy exactly where I was. If that man that pays, is he cheating on me, or is he completely loyal to me?
Completely loyal.
Let's say
completely loyal.
He's completely loyal.
Because apparently, if he was cheating on you, you have every right to walk away.
Bye.
Right.
Honestly, it's not realistic to ask somebody to leave somebody they love for another person that might give them a better life. That's a risk that I'm personally not willing to take. Because love ain't generated that easily. And if somebody, even if they like you for a really long time, they don't know you and they don't know everything about you. This man has been with me for like 10 years. I'm not going to trade somebody that's known me for 10 years for somebody that's willing to get to know me now. Because they already know me. They already know my dirty little secrets. They already know what makes me tick. I don't want to go through that again with somebody else. It's not worth it. For an additional 10%, no, I'm good.
If you're not struggling, then why do I have to pay 90% of the bills? If you're not struggling, if you could pay all your bills, then why am I paying 90%?
Why am I you?
Something ain't right.
Because you like me, and
you like me enough to pay my bills.
Yeah,
but that's you enough to fuck you.
Now we're not talking. Now we're not talking about love. We're talking about finances, though.
This is just crazy because the man is getting the backs. He gotta pay all your bills. So this is a question that I have for you guys. Do you think that if a man doesn't pay all her bills, she don't give the backs away? I am curious. What do you guys think?
Talking about love, because if you like me and then you fall in love with me because I look the way I'm the man you see yourself with. You say, I like the way this man looks. I like his build. I like his size. You know, he's romantic. He's romantic. You know, he listens when I speak. He listens. He's, you know, so he has some emotional. You know, he could balance himself. He could show me emotion when I need him to. So he has balance in that. He's not acting like a you know, and then I'm paying 90% for what? It's 50% is not good at this point?
No. Why
does it have to go to 90? If you're making good money and you could pay all your bills, our companionship, the time we spend together is not good enough that I make you laugh, I make you smile. You know, I cook for you, you cook for me. You know, we go to nice dinners, we'll go on a vacation and all that. And I'm still paying 90% of your bills. Where does that come from? Why can't, if we're together and we're in love, first of all, for me, we're together and we love, I want to wake up to you every day. So we're living together. I don't want to have to go to your place if I'm already intimate with you. I've been with you for some time, and we actually use this word that I'm in love with you, because it starts with, I think I'm falling in love with you. Mm-hmm. And then if you feel the same way, you're going to return, you're going to reciprocate. If not, you know, it's not a requirement. And if now you say, oh, I love you a lot, I want to wake up to you. I don't want to worry about going to your house and you coming to my house at one point. So at that point, I'm still going to be paying all the bills, because this is what I was doing without you. You know, I don't require, there's no demands for me. Like, there's no, you better be home at this time. When is the difference between transactional or this is my girl and she loves me and she's with me because she loves me for who I am, for the person I make her feel like, that I add value to her life. And it's not that I'm paying, because do I have to concern myself that the day that I just don't want to, now, what if I want to challenge that love, which is whack? And now I want to say, let me see if she really loves me and let me hold back. I'm not going to pay nothing for the next 3 months. And all of a sudden you walk away. And now I want to say, let me see if she really loves me and let me hold back. I'm not going to pay nothing for the next 3 months. And all of a sudden you walk away. So
there you have it. She give you the answer. These women do not care about love. It's all about money, honestly. And if she has a problem, even if the man was trying to pay 50% of her bills, she wouldn't take it. But it's okay for her to cover everything. I think some of them, I don't think they even think for a second. If somebody willing to pay 50% of your bills, you only have paying 50, you should be happy about it. But no, you gotta pay 90% or you pay all the bills. This is just crazy.
There was no love then. It was transactional. Where was the love?
Which, no, to me, no. A man is there to provide for you. A man is there to help you, because a man, that's what, well, personally, that's what I grew up knowing and learning, that a man is supposed to provide for you. They're supposed to be there to make your life easier. So if you're not doing anything to make my life easier, why am I with you?
Here we go. It's never about about us. It's most of the time it's about them. It's what you can do for me. How can you make my life easier? It's not like let's work together. Let's make our life easier, or let's make our life better. It's about me.
Because it's like, okay, let's transition this. So for the 3 months that let's say you weren't paying bills, what if she decided, okay, for 3 months I don't want to have sex? Do you say, okay, what if she feels like that's how she determines love and stuff? Would you be like, okay, would you stick it through? Or would you be like, okay, well, no, I don't want to be with a girl that holds off 3 months of sex?
No, if you have to pay 90% of a woman bills just to get the backs, then I guess you should just go somewhere else and pay for it. It's going to cost you less.
Just know that she's doing tit for tat at this point, that now that I'm not paying something, now she's telling me that I can't have sex. Okay, fine. And I would just see now I would know where our relationship foundation is, that we have, it's a weak foundation. Because at this point, yes.
Okay, so if she would still be giving you pussy, would it still be a weak foundation?
No, it will still be somewhat weak foundation, because if you're going to be mad at me or upset about anything because I'm not paying, then it will show weakness. The whole thing is that you stay being the same. If I pause for 3 months, that you stay loving me the same, you're staying exactly the same, because you won't know.
Will you love a woman the same if she didn't have sex with you for 3 months?
Absolutely, because love is love. It has nothing to do with the intimacy.
Okay, then you get with a woman that is okay with you not paying her bill. But personally, I would not be with a guy that would be okay with me not fucking him for 3 months. If I'm with any guy like that, then he's definitely doing something with somebody else.
Why? He loves you. Why would he want to sleep with anybody else?
That's like, it's a basic human need, bro. I'm not unrealistic. It's 3 months. Bro, like, if I'm single and it's been 3 months, I'm getting dick from somewhere, somehow. Dick is coming my way.
Something's coming
my way. But like, no, you can't be unrealistic. Like, just like a woman is expected to do certain things, a man is expected to do certain things. And that's just my perspective. I expect a man to provide for me because I can provide for myself. The only reason I have a man around is to make my life easier, and the only reason he has me around is to make his life easier.
Well, I mean, you can't speak for the man. You could speak for what you said, that you only have a man around because he makes your life easier.
Right, I'm making his life easier too. He doesn't have to decide to send different DMs.
I just want to know.
He just has one already at home.
How exactly is she making that man life easier when he has to pay his bills and her bills? The thing that she's giving that man is something that he can get anywhere else. He can pay somebody to do it for him. This is just crazy.
Work harder.
When we do have these conversations, a lot of times they're great conversations, but what I realize is that they never really focuses on the love part. It always seems to go 90% to the transactional part of the relation that you have with someone else, and the 10% is the love. They throw that in there.
I mean, what do two broke people get out of being in a relationship? A struggling relationship. There's not a reason you should.
Say that again. Why two people what?
Why should two people get into a relationship if all they're gonna have is a struggling relationship?
Where's the struggle? If you're doing good and I'm doing good. Who said we broke? We're not broke.
No, I'm saying if two people are broke and they're getting into a relationship.
Listen, if you're broke and I'm broke, there's no reason for me to even attempt to court you. It's not out of for me, in my perspective, it's not out of the ordinary for that two people can wind up falling in love with each other and they broke and then wind up coming together, having a great idea and then become prosperous. This can happen. This can happen.
Sure, but
you don't think it can? You don't think that if let's say you're struggling, you've been through a lot of struggle, and I've been through a lot of struggle. Now we come together because we like each other. I just think you're pretty. You think I'm handsome, and we start hanging out. We start laughing, having a good time, and we start talking. And in the talking, you're talking about a great idea, and I go, wow, that is a great idea. And now the minimal money that I am making, we put it together and we put that idea into fruition, and all of a sudden we make the money appropriately. Okay. It can happen. If two people have the same, same understanding. Hey, listen, magic happens.
What I can take from this video, these women do not care about love. If you don't have the money, you can pay 90% of her bills or all her bills. She gonna move on to the next man. So how many of you guys think this woman in a relationship